my fellow chairs, and welcome back to EU4. Today we're going to be attempting to spawn a global trade in the Cape of Good Hope. As you guys can clearly see, Cape of Good Hope has no nations down here whatsoever. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to play as the nation of Mutapa. And Mutapa has some pretty decent ideas geared towards trade. Originally I was thinking between them and Butua, but I think Mutapa's ideas are going to be better for doing this. They do get yearly inflation, goods produced, development cost, discipline, stab, fort maintenance, yearly legitimacy, tax, trade efficiency, and domestic trade power. So pretty decent ideas that are going to allow us to spawn global trade in the Cape of Good Hope. Hakuna Mutapa. What a wonderful phrase. Sorry you guys had to hear that. So yeah, here we are. We got our horrible ruler, our heir that likes to count numerically in order, 1, 2, 3. And we do have a little bit of a mission tree. We actually share the same mission tree as Butua, which does guide us towards forming the nation of Zimbabwe, which honestly I might just do that. Alright, we do start with 8k troops, pretty decent considering we're gonna have to fight Mr. Kilwa pretty early on, but they are ahead of us militarily at the start. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna focus on mill at the very beginning. We're gonna introduce the vision quest. Is for our estates. I don't know why we don't have the full 30%. Okay. I'm just gonna go with expansion of zealotry, at least at the start here. Culture. Political education. And embrace singular cult. Which we're gonna do this one. This one's gonna give us 2.5 discipline. I like the sound of that. We're also gonna go with primacy of the nobility, so we get extra mill, because again, we're gonna need as much military points as we could possibly get. Increase levies. Also going to go with nobility integration policy and nobility officer rights. Merchant guild wise, we are going to go with patronage of the arts. And I'm thinking merchant guilds bookkeeping. You know, I'm not going to do indebted to the merchant guilds until we are actually at war with Mr. Kilwa up here. And the general we got is pretty decent. Also, our ruler apparently starts as a general. He's a 2-3-3. Also not too bad. I'll actually use our ruler instead. And yeah, we'll rival Kilwa and Marabi, who both rivaled us. We're going to immediately begin fabricating a claim on my boy Kilwa and some of these other guys over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead, summon the diet, and go with this. That's going to give us claims actually on Safala. I did actually get another discipline advisor. Kind of is tempting me right now to just go ahead and attack Kilwa, to be honest with you. Which I might just do that. Yeah, we're gonna, you know what, screw it. We're gonna go indebted to the merchant guilds. We're gonna just outmark these guys. We're gonna assert our dominance. Oh my goodness. That general for the Zanj company, a 1532. Yeah, we need him. We need him. And we'll get the free company. Alright, Mr. Safala, yeah, we'll just attack you right away. Move our entire army here to meet up with our mercs that we're recruiting. And yeah, here's a disaster we get right at the start. The regression of Zimbabwe, pretty much just telling us, well, our empire used to be great and it kind of sucks now. We're going to lose stability. We're going to gain 33 devastation in our capital, which is really bad because we have a gold mine here. And our monument, the city of Kami, which is a pretty decent monument, is actually going to get downgraded. It's going to get destroyed, and we can only get rid of this through our mission tree. Hi there, Safala 3 stack. Get out of my face. So glad we got our boy Butua. They have such good ideas. If you guys haven't watched my video on Butua just yet, please do. Their ideas are really, really good. They're basically the Prussia of Africa, or at least this part of Africa. Ooh, I could just straight up buy the leader out of my Zanj company, or, you know what? I'm thinking we will. I'm thinking we will. How old is he? He gonna be around for a while? Oh yeah. Oh, he's only 25. Yes. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong one. Oh, he's 39. So we got some time. We gotta make sure we use him. Alright, this war's over. We got a 100% war score. I'm going to shoot for pretty much conquering entire states out of them. We're going to obviously full annex Safala. I really wish that I could just full annex Kilwa. I don't think I can at the start. I mean, I could. I actually could. And I mean, one thing I could do, this is kind of crazy. is full annex Kilwa. Well, I could just straight up full annex both them and their subject. Okay. I like the sound of that, even though everybody's gonna hate. Well, Mombasa's just gonna hate me. Who cares? We just got rid of our biggest rival in one war. I did not expect that, and it only cost 48 overextension. And all of a sudden, we're the strongest nation in all of East Africa in the matter of one war in 3 years. And guess what? We're going to be going after Mr. Moravi here, who is allied to this guy, I guess. I thought he was allied to this one. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just go ahead and attack these guys. And again, I'm glad that I have Butua, because Butua is doing fantastic. They're carpet sieging, they're doing actual sieging, and this is allowing me to beat up on Moravi's actual army, which almost got wiped out by natives. Alright, Mr. Moravi would actually allow us to just straight up full annex him, so let's do that. And overextension wise, still not over 100. Not bad. Rival wise, I guess really our only possible rival is Mombasa. And we can almost embrace feudalism. The only reason I can't is because none of this is actually a state. Alright, let's go ahead and attack Tumbuka. This way we can full annex this entire area, and we can just focus on economy for the rest of the game. Oh, our ruler died, so now we got our arrow, 1, 2, 3. Who else are we at war with? This guy here. Does any of this trade actually go here? Great Lakes does pour into Zanzibar, which does go into Cape of Good Hope. So maybe, just maybe, it might be a good idea to actually vassalize this guy. Alright, so I did vassalize this guy. I got some rebels. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead full annex this nation here, Tumbuka. And look at that, we pretty much have consolidated everything within a matter of like 8 years. It's not bad at all. See, we also got Congo. Congo's another one that flows down here. So at some point, we're gonna have to conquer Great Lakes in Congo. So then that way all their trade goes down to the Cape of Good Hope. Speaking of the Congo, we can actually rival the Congo, so we'll do that. And we just annex our subject of Butua. So we can actually complete this mission. This allows us to have Butuan warriors as a mercenary company. Pretty cool. Alright, and because we are playing in perhaps the richest part of Africa, because of all the gold mines and ivory and gems and all that stuff, money should not be a problem. We have about 6 ducats we're making every month. I'm going to hire a bunch of advisors right now. And yeah, it's going to help keep us up to date in tech, which I'm not going to spend 1,000 mil points to get to Mil Tech 3. I'm going to wait until feudalism spreads throughout my country a bit more. Though alternatively, I could probably just state this stuff up, so I concentrate dev in a few areas. And now I only need 173 ducats. Much, much better. Alright, let's get feudalism. Be like all the hip kids with all the feudalistic stuff. And get Mil Tech 4 also. Alright, we're going to go ahead and attack Mombasa. This is going to call on Ajuran. I'm okay with that. Ajuran only has about 9k guys, and I'm assuming probably some nation like a doll might take care of them. So, tier 2 government reform time, we're going to go with Martial Society. Alright, what I'm going to do now is we're going to focus all in on admin. I'm still coring stuff. I still have to get ideas where it's 1466. We haven't even gotten the first level 3 admin tech. So we're going to chill. We're just going to get tech. I mean, alternatively, I could attack all these areas here. And, you know, feed it all to my vassal. I think that's what we'll do. And I got free stability from an event, meaning I could finally take this mission. So anytime we construct anything that's non-defensive building-wise in any of our provinces, it actually increases the development of the province. And we actually got a really good event, which is Prospering Times. We're going to choose the better production methods. This is going to give us extra dev costs in this province and local trade power, along with a bunch of development, especially in base production, and we get some monarch points. So, so far, this guy, Karagui, has done all the conquering for us. So, we're going to... Oh, I guess my guy no longer has a claim on him. Great. I was going to say we're going to go ahead and attack him, but never mind. Alright, there we go. Now my subject actually got a claim. Let's go ahead and go ahead and invade. Alright, let's force feed my vassal all of this guy's nation. And now we're just down to these last two guys. Alright, let's begin our next war, this time against Rwanda. Tier 3 government reform, we're going to go with religious society, extra religious unity, because fetishist nations kind of struggle with converting provinces. Alright, let's build a temple in our capital. We've already built a marketplace there, and we have 2 stability. And once I get this up to 20 development, which obviously I'm going to mainly focus on production here since it has a gold mine, that's going to allow us to complete this mission. It's going to make it cheaper to dev there. We're going to get yearly legitimacy. Center of trade gets bumped up to by 1, and the city that's here, our monument, is actually going to jump up to level 2, giving us that 5% tech cost. Alright, for our very first idea group, we are going to be going with expansion ideas. It's going to give us multiple colonists, and it's also going to help out with giving us an additional merchant and also global trade power, so very, very nice. Obviously, the next one we're going to open up with, because this is a series about spawning global trade, we're going to open up, well, our second idea group is going to be trade ideas. From there, we may do something like, I don't know, aristocratic or quantity. We'll see how it goes. And in case you're wondering about trade right now, obviously Cape of Good Hope, we can't even reach that, but our current capital, which is in Zimbabwe here, our current trade node is Zimbabwe, is making 3.9 ducats, which is pretty nice for an inland center of trade, and Zanzibar's at 3.8, so about equal amount. Alright, we can finally complete this mission, restore Zimbabwe. And we could complete this one, uncover the south, giving us a frontier in Cape and a free colonist. Which we're going to go with the one that's very inviting for all the natives. And for my sake of keeping the Europeans out, we're going to try and rush down the Cape of Good Hope as much as possible. Which means, yeah, we're about to be running like 3 colonies all at once, which, I mean, financially we can handle, which is insane. But we're going to go all for this coastline first. Once we do that, we're going to focus all in on Indonesia and bringing in trade from India and whatnot. Second idea group time, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to go with trade ideas. Alright, we finally constructed 20 light ships. We're going to get 5 mercantilism, find a bunch of stuff all the way up to Beijing, and get a bunch of permanent claims on Horn of Africa. But yeah, we can see Beijing now. Alright, I'm going to go to war for Madagascar because I like to move it. Pretty much conquered more than half of Madagascar all in one war. Alright, let's go ahead and attack this guy Saklava. We'll annex him and eventually go after Antemoro. Alright, let's finish off all of Madagascar with Antemoro. There we go, we full annex all of Madagascar. We are super close to actually forming the nation of Zimbabwe. We just need 25 more development. Here is our first look at some Europeans, Portuguese ships off of my Cape of Good Hope. Even though my land is not connected to this area, I am going to annex my subject because they definitely have more than enough development I need to actually form the nation of Zimbabwe, which is going to be better for our goal of trying to spawn global trade in Cape of Good Hope. Speaking of which, I can actually move my main trading port here, so let's go ahead and do that. And so far we got Cape of Good Hope up to 6.5 ducats. We have about 90 years. And we're pushing about 1 ducat out of Gulf of Aden and 8 out of Zanzibar, which is going to be kind of our golden boy here. And the Ottomans actually made the Mamluks into an eyalet. That's kind of rare. They always end up just taking them over like all the way. And that's a pretty huge freaking eyalet for the Ottomans to have. Alright, we've reached exactly 400 development, meaning we can now become Zimbabwe, which we will do. Their ideas are a little bit better than Mutapa's for completing this. and we do become an empire with a nice yellow color. Type of ideas Zimbabwe has is morale of armies, fort maintenance, trade efficiency plus 20, construction costs along with great project upgrade costs, goods produced, tax and monthly gold inflation, fort defense, attrition for enemies, income from vassals, and production efficiency. And we did just integrate our Vasa Buha. Alright, years 1528. All I'm doing right now is trying to build as many buildings as possible, colonize as many of these provinces over here as possible. Also, a decent amount of these are actually giving me some good trade goods, like more ivory. I've gotten more gems in one. This one's giving me copper. And I'm trying to also rush down both expansion and trade ideas. And I'm going to attempt to push all that trade from Coromandel, Gujarat, and Bengal all the way over here to Zanzibar, which I mean the majority of it does go to Coromandel, which I could just have it bypass and go straight to Cape of Good Hope, or in the case of Gujarat, I could just have it go straight to Zanzibar, which then goes to Cape of Good Hope. Alright, we finally finished up expansion ideas, meaning now all of our admin can just go straight towards our tech. And now we're going to focus solely on Diplo, trying to rush down trade ideas. It's 1540. We finally embraced the Renaissance, and because we did, we're actually a great power now. If we had colonialism, we'd actually be the 7th greatest power, right below Castile. And finally, I can actually reach Coromandel with my merchants. So obviously, I'm going to start sending some people over here. Alright, we finally embraced colonialism just in time because printing press had literally just spawned. And man, are we behind in tech. It's bad. For our next idea group, our third one, we're going to go with quantity ideas. Quantity paired up with trade, that's going to give us an additional 15% goods produced. With our ivory trade and our Zimbabwe ideas, that's 25% more goods produced. Alright, I was able to actually convince Vijayanagar to sell me the island of Maldives, which is fantastic for me. And look, we're both like the same yellow color, so they don't even notice it anyways. Alright, we finally finished. Alright, we finally finished up trade ideas, giving us an additional merchant and a policy trade efficiency and trade steering, which is actually really nice. I'm now going to send an additional merchant here to Gujarat, have him start sending trade towards Zanzibar. Hopefully, again, just keep pushing more and more money towards Cape of Good Hope. So we're pushing 5 ducats this way. Cape of Good Hope's almost at 30. And we finish up quantity ideas and our Zimbabwe ideas. So now we can finally get a couple more policies along with the extra 20% trade efficiency. Hopefully that puts us over the edge. Alright, the year 1601 and global trade has spawned. However, it's not in the Cape of Good Hope, which we were able to get up to 48 ducats. However, it did spawn all the way up here in Porto, which I don't even know how valuable Sevilla actually is. I'll give this a couple years and see, then we could kind of compare where Sevilla is versus Cape of Good Hope. Alright, after getting a ton of maps, I still can't even see it. What the? Alright, here we go. So finally, yeah, it makes sense that Sevilla is up to 71 ducats. No wonder it spawned global trade. Genoa was at 49. English Channel was at 68. Wow, Sevilla actually just barely beat out English Channel. Constantinople was at 47. And yeah, this was the most I was able to get it to be was 54 ducats. And by the time global trade spawned, it was at 48 ducats. So all I gotta say is, got some work to do when it comes to spawning these global trade in some of these. This is the second one now where we weren't able to do it. The first one being in North Sea, but I mean, North Sea I could definitely do again. And it's funny because I was able to get the White Sea, which is even harder than the North Sea to spawn global trade, but I was able to get that one. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And, you know, maybe we'll revisit this area and stuff like that at a later time for future, you know, global trade and all that stuff. Maybe we'll do like global trade revisited by the end of the series or something. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Hope you guys give it a try for yourselves. I know you guys could definitely do better than me in spawning global trade, especially if you go with like exploration and expansion ideas. That's probably where I messed up. Is I should have colonized Indonesia and really pushed a lot of that trade this way. But I will see you guys next week when we attempt to spawn global trade in Gujarat. Then after that, we're gonna go to the New World for our next global trade adventure after Gujarat. So I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.